It's your boy, Jeff Jones.
It is the one and only upset specialist, Thomas Boykin.
It's your NBA Finals hoop, Mr. Mike Jones.
And this is 234 Sports Talk. Fellas, let's talk about it.
Let's get at it. Let's get at it.
If you like the show, we want to ask that you subscribe, and we want to hear your comments. So please comment. All right, fellas. NBA Finals, Game 3. NBA Finals, Game 3. Miami Heat versus the Denver Nuggets. Miami went back to Miami, and Miami lost on their home floor, 109-94 in Game 3. Jokic, triple-double. Murray, triple-double. First time in NBA Finals that's happened. 230 points. Matter of fact, they had 30 points with their triple doubles. First time it's ever happened. Fellas, as you watch the game, tell me, what do you think about Denver and Miami? What do you think about, as far as Denver taking back home court advantage?
Well, the upset specialist predicted that this series was going to go 6 games. We anticipated, I knew Miami was going to lose at least one at home. They're not that strong as everybody thinks as they are at home, especially when you have Denver clicking on all cylinders. When Denver's clicking on all cylinders, they can't afford to have any lapses where they forget to play defense or forget to score or go on scoring droughts. It don't happen with Denver. That's how you get buried. It snowballs and it snowballs, and by the time you be like, okay, now I can score, you're down 16-18. So, I anticipated Denver would be kind of upset losing Game 2 in Denver. Like, nah, we ain't doing that. And they had a chance to put in overtime, even though the shot went down there. It's like, nah, we can't do that. So we got to go take home court back. So immediately, they take Game 3. And the coach made a valid point. If you heard going into the fourth quarter, the coach made a start adjustment. He told his players, say, listen, every game that we've played these guys, we've lost the fourth quarter. Let's win the fourth quarter. And they went out and won the fourth quarter, dominated the fourth quarter. So kudos to the coaching staff of the Denver Nuggets. I anticipated Denver to at least win one of those. I didn't know which one, but I knew they'd win one of them. Miami, if they don't respond Game 4, this series is done quick. If they do not respond in Game 4. What you got on MJ?
Yeah, I want to say, man, like you said, Jones, that was a nice feat by the two stars for Denver, man. It's a beautiful thing to watch them two play together. They're like a synchronized swimmer when they play together, man. Pick and rolls, picking pops, just them displaying themselves being all stars. And I think that Denver has had to have that happen for that team. As of late, the rest of the cast for Denver have not completely showed up like they have in the previous series. So they need every bit of those triple doubles that Jokic and Murray is giving them. But I look, man, for Denver to continue this thing and finish the deal here in the next couple games. They might lose one, but and a lot has to do with Jimmy Butler, man. He haven't really been himself, I don't think, in this series. But Jimmy's kind of like that sometime, man. But once he get going, man, look for Miami to, have one of these games, man, to be like a blowout game. But man, Denver is just so like unfazed by it. Even when they lose, man, it's like, we're still in control. That's how I look at them. They look like a veteran squad. Even in their loss, it don't look like it's chaos. It just look like they just need to go tweak a few things, or if not, and nothing else, they just play the same brand of basketball and get these W's. But yeah, I don't know, man. For me, I just think Denver just got too much, and Miami is going to be fighting for their lives. I think Miami gets another win, but that's about it.
Well,
I
fellas,
think what you said makes sense too, though. I think uh, Miami needs one game to where they actually blow Denver out to take their heart a little bit, to actually shake them up a little bit. If they don't get a game where they get Denver down 15-16, where they can be like, we can't beat these guys, this series will be over quick.
when you
Back.
when you look at okay, back to Denver. When you look at Denver, and Mike, you kind of hit on it. Aaron Gordon, he hasn't been himself since game one. I was looking for Aaron Gordon actually in game three to really show up. He had 11 points. And Michael Porter Jr., too, also has disappeared in this series. After game one, they had pretty good game ones, and it's kind of like they just disappeared. But then you have Christian Brown coming off the bench, and he gave them 13 points. He played solid, gave some solid minutes. Do you guys think that these guys will show up in game four?
Who definitely needs to show up for Denver right now, who's really been missing since game one, is Contavious Caldwell Pope. You haven't heard much about him since game one. I don't know if the defense that made him timid. I don't know if he even got gunshot, but he needs to get back to playing confident basketball. Because we saw in previous series, he knows how to play confident basketball. It's just about getting back to playing confident basketball. But as far as the rest of the bench goes, I mean, they have the mentality of next man up. If one guy is not performing, okay, somebody's next man up, and they fill that spot. It's kind of hard to beat, especially if your bench is not coming through. It makes it that much tougher to win. So, I mean, Miami's got to figure something out, and especially if Denver's bench wakes all the way up, Miami's going to have a problem, and their bench is going to have to respond. What you got on it, MJ?
Yeah, I don't know if Denver players, the rest of those guys are gonna come through. You know, after game one, supposed to sit and he did a matchup change, and you know that kind of shut down a lot of those players' efficiency. And so going forward, I'm not for sure. You know, they're gonna have to create something different. I believe to get those other guys going. But as of right now, the matchup changes that Spoelstra has created after game one has caused them some problems. So I really don't know. It may have to be Joker and Mary and maybe another player that sees them through to the finish line.
Fellas, when you look at Jokic's numbers, 32 points, 21 rebounds, and 10 assists. As you look at this guy, he does everything. To me, is effortless, and the way that he moves, it's almost slow motion. He's not a fast guy, but he's one of them guys. I don't know if you guys ever played one of those guys that just move kind of slow on the court, but it's like you couldn't stop him.
It's called methodical.
Yeah, that's how Joker looks when he's on the court, man. Uh, and I've heard today, and I'm not gonna drop any names, but somebody was saying that they think that Joker is the best big to play the game. I said, I think they take it a little bit too far, but he definitely will go down in history as one of the best. When you look at this guy, I mean, his game, what do you guys think about his game?
I think he has a great offensive game for sure. I don't think anybody has taken the vet into challenging him on defense. Because if you look at what everybody does, nobody has really made Joker play defense. So we don't know if he can play defense, if he's not fast enough to play defense. I don't know why Spoelstra hasn't even tried to expose, well, let's put him in high pick and roll and see how he does. So we can pull him out of the lane, put somebody on him that can knock down a free throw line jump shot so he has to come out. I don't understand why they haven't ventured in to try that, but you got to give the guy his props. He's basically a big Magic Johnson. So, I mean, what can you do? You got to make adjustments. You might have to go double team and make him find the open guy on a double team. Who knows? But when you got to pick your poison between him and Murray, it makes it difficult. What you got on MJ?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I don't think anybody has really challenged him physically or skillfully, making him play defense. To say that he's the greatest big. I mean, I can't see him holding Elijah one back in, up to you matched them two up. I couldn't see him guarding him. I think Elijah one would win that matchup as far as down there in the post around that rim. But like you said, Thomas, man, give Joker his due. He does look like a sloppy. I'm gonna say a sloppy Mike Magic Johnson handling the ball. I mean, he's effective. He gives you a glimpse of Magic. He's just kind of sloppy, but he gets it done. And I'm not gonna take anything away from like some of the some people do, man. As long as you're winning, you're winning. He reminds me of the white kid, man, back in the third, fourth grade when you go to recess. You get this one white kid, man. He just lucking up and hitting stuff, man. But you can't take anything from him. You don't always want to put him on your team. So, I'm giving him all the love and hey, 30 and 20 and 10 triple doubles. Hey, he's making an argument for at least for the players that are playing the game now. So yeah, he's definitely a great player.
And who did he pass? LeBron James with triple doubles in the finals. I just had to throw that little piece in there, just because your GOAT is the GOAT, but not. But okay. Yeah.
Fellas, on the flip side, when you look at Miami, Jimmy Butler had 28 points, and Bam Adebayo, he gave him 22. But when you look at the supporting cast, they really didn't get much from anybody else. Vincent didn't really show up. He had 7. Strauss had 3, and Martin had 10. Lowry, he gave him 9. Duncan Robinson had 9 points. When you look at I'm really impressed, and I will say this, I'm really impressed with the way that Bam Adebayo's been playing the game. Man, he's really been playing, that little mid-range, he's been killing them from the mid-range. And I'm impressed with that, man. But when you look at the rest of, Jimmy Butler here and there, when you look at Miami, what can Miami possibly do? Because I've noticed as their bench players go, Miami goes. I noticed as their three-point shot goes, Miami goes. So what can they possibly do to try to win game 4 against Denver?
If you ask me, and folks ain't asked me, and I don't know why Spoelstra ain't thought of this, because he's a veteran guy. He knows what it takes to get done down there. I would throw Udonis Haslem on him for 5 or 6 minutes.
Not the OG.
Put the OG on him, dude. Come on now. Come on. Everybody knows that was Udonis' thing, grinded out in the post. Come on now. If you got a guy that's grinding out in the post, why not put a grinder down there with him? Make him work for it, at least a little bit. But these cats here, Miami's bench, for them to have a chance, they got to show up. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. They have to show up. If they don't, they're going to get, like they did games 1 and 3, you're going to get smashed. Not even close. Because if you look at 1-3, Denver had them down large double digits. So, I mean, you can't just lean on Adebayo and Jimmy. Hate to say it, but if you want to live and die by the three, you gotta play Kevin Love. I'm just the way it is. Just the way it is. Because everybody else ain't doing nothing that can't hurt. Gotta try something. What you got on him, Jay?
Well, I'm like this, man. I look back at Jimmy Butler. I look at his pops, man, Michael Jordan. Hey, man, I just think you gotta just turn Jimmy Butler loose. Just turn him loose. Let him get touches every play. Tell him, even if it's gonna be a difficult shot, I want you taking that shot. Once he get going, then I think the other players gonna want to take some of that. Because as long as Jimmy Butler is just kind of just playing within the system and guys are missing open shots, man, that's not gonna work. Jimmy got to take over. He's got to take over often. He's got to take over early. And once he get that going, then you start spreading that ball around to Kevin Love and all them other kids. Then that ball will start falling down in there. You know what I mean? But for me, it's just one answer, man, to get the other guys going. That's Jimmy Butler. Get him fired up, get the crowd fired up, man. Boom, and then you back to letting Martin and all them guys shooting them crazy threes, man. They're gonna start going in eventually.
Here's what I'm gonna say about that, MJ, and this goes back to what we always talk about: fundamental basketball. Like in game one for sure. Miami players would get the Denver guy on a pump fake to fly by. Why are you going to shoot a three when you got a wide open drive to the basket? The first thing I was taught as a jump shooter, to build confidence, you got to see the ball go through the net. The easiest way to get the ball to go through the net is a layup or a dunk. That's the first thing you see. Okay, ball go through the hoop. See that a couple of times, ball go through the hoop. Now I can step outside and take my shot. But you got to have confidence, whatever you do. You got to have confidence. Part of your confidence is seeing the ball go in. Now, if you ain't never seen the ball go in, why am I going to keep jacking threes and knowing I'm not making them?
Well, look here, man. That's how they got these guys programmed to play the NBA game today. It's all about the three-point.
That's true, too. That's facts, too.
Yeah.
That's facts, too. Everybody forgets about layups and dunks.
Hey, it's almost like the football, the college and the NFL football. Now they so used to taking instead of they need 1 yard, they still in the shotgun. Used to be you get underneath the center for 1 yard. But it's like that in the NBA. Them guys are probably terrified to shoot a mid range or a layup. You know what I'm saying? They got more confidence shooting three.
Which I don't get that, but it's facts. But hey, the game shows that you got guys that'll come down on a fast break and jack a three before they'll shoot a layup.
And they'll miss that layup. Some guys will miss a flat out layup, man.
I.e. LeBron reverse layup, lose the ball out of bounds. I'm just saying.
He was eating that Popeye chicken before the game. Man, his fingertips were greasy.
Yeah, wow.
And then put that powder on his hand.
Wow.
Fellas, on the serious side, when you look at it, Miami hit 6 more 3-pointers than Denver, but this is where Denver killed them in the paint, 60-34, and they out-rebounded them 45-23.
They have no answer for Joker in the middle. That's the whole key to the equation.
Yep.
And just like you all were saying with the 3-pointers, the league has turned into everybody wants to be the Golden State Warriors, but everybody isn't the Golden State Warriors.
No,
And the proof is right here in the paint. In the paint, you can be more productive.
it's called quit being scared of contact. You win games on the free throw line. To go to the free throw line, you got to draw contact. You're not going to draw contact. You're not going to go to the free throw line, which means it's going to be a problem and it's going to be a long night for you.
And that's where Jimmy thrives, when Jimmy can go to the hoop and Jimmy can get you up with a pump fake and then still score. He's a walking 3-point play right there.
Absolutely.
And that's where Jimmy was really killing everybody earlier in these series that they played. But now here in the finals, that's why I said Denver had the advantage sitting back and watching Miami, because now if you look at it, a lot of those guys, they don't go for that pump fake.
No, they stay pretty grounded.
Well, what's your prediction? What is that?
They're gonna wait for him to go up before they try to jump and block that shot.
Let me ask you guys, what's your prediction for Game 4?
I'm gonna say this. I originally said 6 games. If Denver gets this game 4, this series is over in 5. I'm looking for Denver to win this one in another round.
But hey, I'm like this, man. I think Miami gets it done. Um, this may be the game, Thomas, that you say that it may not be a big blowout, but they might sit and win this game by 15, Miami, this game 4.
Hey, if they don't, they're going back to Denver looking to close the deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, fellas, I picked Denver in 6. Turning our attention still to the NBA, it's been reported that Chris Paul, veteran point guard for the Phoenix Suns, has been waived. Fellas, as I heard this news on yesterday. You think about this. What's your thoughts on this? Do you think that he still wants to play? You think that he could still stick around another year or two? And if so, what do you think his plan should be? Should it be to go to maybe LA? Should it be maybe to go to Boston? Should it be maybe to go to the Clippers?
I think what he needs to seriously think about, and it's just me, and I know pride has a lot to do with it, but he might have to take a look at going somewhere and be coming off the bench, running the guys off the bench on the second team. Because right now, as you already saw from this year, the Western Conference is no easy task. And it's loaded. I mean, the Western Conference is loaded with point guards. So what he might have to do is go east. Just a thought. I would even consider him, what I would like to see him do is go somewhere like Jersey and mentor them point guards at Jersey. Come off the bench, but mentor these guys in Jersey so they can be groomed for further down the line. Because the Western Conference guards are extremely talented. Even the ones that are older, like your Steph Curry's, still talented. So I mean, his body is slowing down. He's being more susceptible to injuries as of late. I think he's got to look at doing some soul searching, some coming off the bench action, or retiring. One or the other. It just all depends on what he's willing to do. What you got on it, MJ?
Yeah, I agree, man. If I'm an organization that's chasing you know, in a position to actually win this championship. Uh, yeah, if I brought Chris Paul in, he would definitely have to be a guy to come off the bench. I'm not really sure if he gets much playing time. You know, as you stay in the league for so long, I remember Sam Cassell, you know, at some point, man, he had to ride the bench, man. I didn't even know he was on certain teams, you know, and but it just comes that point in a player's career to where you know he's not a starter, and but you can utilize him as a mentor, you know,
Absolutely.
a coach on the bench. You know, like you say, you could see him going to New Jersey. I could see him maybe Memphis bringing him in behind. You know, maybe he might not get much playing time, but bring him in to mentor John Morant. You know, and but
Bingo. Now that would be an excellent choice, dude. That would
right,
be an excellent choice.
right. But I think to put him on a Lakers team with the Lakers, if you was to put him on the Lakers, that to me for the Lakers, that'd be like taking one step forward and then taking two steps back, man. The Lakers have seen this play out too many times before, bringing in older guys and putting them on their team and expecting, you know, different
Instant turnaround.
results.
Yep.
You know, so yeah, I like Chris Paul, like you said, Thomas. Man, either he can hang it up or he can sit and look to be that coach, players coach on the bench.
I would even actually look for him to possibly retire and get into coaching because he has that mindset.
Yes, we do.
I think he would be an excellent coach somewhere. Who knows? I don't know if he's thought about it or if he's contemplated it, but I mean, he has the mentality as a point guard. He understands the game. And all your point guards is your coach's extension on the floor. So he's probably already got a mindset of what's going on. So it would be a great benefit to him.
Well, I know for sure that he definitely wants to win a ring. You know,
Oh, facts.
ring has been elusive. He hasn't won one, and I'm quite sure he wants to win one. So I'm sure that if he does stick around, it'd be with a contender. Uh, you
Facts.
know, and you know, there's word on the street that him and LeBron, what everybody knows, they're close. That maybe LeBron could persuade him if LeBron comes back to go to LA. But you guys don't really like that. But we'll see what happens. I think Boston would be a good fit for him, you know, personally. That's what I think. Because
I
Boston
think
is in need of a point guard.
I think Brooklyn would be. I think he would be better served in Brooklyn. Big time. Big time. Matter of fact, he wouldn't be a bad fit actually for the Knicks because they need leadership big time. So
And
it's possibilities out there.
you know, he would fit right in with the Clippers. Hey, they run a hospital over there anyway, so much.
You know, that would be his second stint with the Clippers. The first one didn't go so good. So I mean,
But he could go there and finish out his little career and ride the bench like Kawhi and Paul George sitting on the bench with injuries.
you know him and Westbrook would be at odds, dude. They would be at odds, dude.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to go back to that part of LA.
Nah, it wouldn't be advantageous to him.
Oh, fellas, talking about LA, when we talk about the Lakers, that organization, I mean, we know Thomas Boykins, big Laker fan. What are some of the Laker greats that come to mind when you think about the Los Angeles Lakers?
Really, when you think about LA, you think about tradition, what they have traditionally. And if you go back to the beginnings when the Lakers were in Minneapolis, you think big man tradition started with George Mikan. And it's been that way ever since. They got to have most of the time a dominant or really active center is mostly their mantelpiece. Between your big guys and your point guards, that's their table setters, guards and centers. Then they build around guards and centers. And it, for the most part, has been very effective. So, I mean, but most everybody's favorite Lakers is Showtime because of Showtime. Because with Magic and the captain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, with Magic, you don't know where the ball is going. If you ain't careful, the ball will hit you in the head and be like, why you? Because you was open. Why wasn't you looking? So, I mean, there's been all kinds of Laker greats from your Magic Johnsons down to your Kobe Bryants and Shaquille O'Neals. It's just been a plethora of players that's come through that's been great. Even Jerry West, who turned out to be the logo for the NBA. It's just a plethora of greatness that comes from LA. It's just who they are. What you got on it, MJ?
Yeah, when I think about the Lakers, I agree with you, Thomas. You think about championships. That's that. You think about championship. You think about fame. You think about they like the darlings of the game. They're like the Cowboys of the NFL.
No,
and,
not the
and
Cowboys.
Lakers to me are like the same in the NBA. I know that's a bad comparison, Thomas, but but but
No.
but when I think about the Lakers, I think about championships, man. And then when you talk about the greats, the players that's played the game for the Lakers, like I said, you go no further than the '80s with the Showtime, and they set the bar. They had a high standard, and even prior to them, like you said, with Jerry West and the players that he played with, man, they were great as well. So many great players that had an effect of the NBA played for the Lakers. All like I said, from big man to a guard. Some debate. Is LeBron a true Laker? My opinion, I don't think he's a true Laker, but I'm still gonna put him in there. But maybe he's not. He's not an original Laker, but he's one of those great players that has played for a great organization. And that's all I got.
Let me throw this out there, fellas. When you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, who's your favorite big to play for the Los Angeles Lakers?
Woo.
That's a lot of you go through the history of the Lakers. They've had dominance at the center forever.
But who would you consider the best center that the Lakers have ever had?
To me, you got to go with. I love Shaquille O'Neal to death. He's my number. He's got to be my number two guy. The captain's got to be number one because the skyhook was the most unguardable thing you could possibly try to face. Although the Shaq attack in the dotted lines, if he gets you in the dotted lines, you might as well wrap him up or let him go. What you got on MJ?
Well, I got three of them, man. And my first one is Magic Johnson. You gotta love Magic. His enthusiasm to play the game, how he revolutionized the point guard position at 6'9". He was able to still go in the paint, man, at clutch moments and playoffs and come up big. He to me is the face. Other than West, I know Kareem has done his thing, but I look at Magic. He's one of my favorite players. And then secondly behind that, man, it's the late Kobe Bryant, man. I love his intensity, his killer mentality. And then thirdly, I love the big fella. I love Kareem. And that is like I said, Tom, that is a toss up with Kareem and Shaq, man. But then it was amazing to watch Kareem with that hook shot that was unstoppable. But it was more fun for me to watch Shaq just bully people, man. Tom can turn over, and shake the rim, make the rim rattle and everything. So,
Yeah.
Shaq was definitely one of the most dominant centers to play the game. And y'all didn't mention Wilt. I'm surprised y'all didn't mention Wilt.
Wilt didn't start off as a Laker guy. He came out and got him a championship with Jerry West to finally beat Boston, but he was only brought out there to beat Boston, but he was not a true Laker guy.
Yeah. And his skill set, he was more of a passer back then.
Oh, no, Wilt was dominating every stat it was back then.
Because I remember as his career got late, he started passing more as opposed to scoring like he did in Philly.
Man, because that dude was scoring and rebounding and blocking shots at a phenomenal rate.
Yeah, but in Philly, he was the guy scoring most.
Yeah, without question.
I think when he got to Lakers, he was more of a team player. He was, he could have scored.
Yeah,
and, he did score.
I mean, he looked at it like this: I got Jerry West to fill up the bucket. I can let Jerry go to work. I can just make his life easy.
He's about getting that ring.
Yep, that's what it was about. Beating Boston. That's what it was all about. Dethroning Bill Russell and them.
And that's the thing. When you go to the Lakers, if you come from another organization, if you come to the Lakers, it's about winning a ring. It ain't about coming in there winning a MVP title. It's about coming in there and getting that chip.
Yep, that's what it's all about. That's the name of the game in LA. The bottom line is we want chips.
Yep.
You can be great in the process, but we want them chips.
That's why I say about LeBron James. You can win them chips, MVP, all those individual accolades. Go do it somewhere else. But in LA, we want championships, son.
You got us a chip. Yeah, that was great. You got us a chip in the bubble and ain't been back since.
Man, that was a generic chip. You know, you can buy generic chips as opposed to the real chips. The bubble was the generic chip. That's my opinion.
All right, fellas. It's been a real one. We've talked about it until the next time. It's been 234 Sports Talk. You can catch us right here on YouTube. You can catch us on Twitter. You can catch us on TikTok. You can catch us on Instagram. Like and subscribe. Remember, it don't cost you nothing to push that button. 234 Sports Talk. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.